Well, I think in terms of seeing what the trends are in terms of the new investment agreements, I think we see four main things. First of all, I think we see that states are trying to assert more control over their regulatory space. So in other words, they are trying to carve out more prerogative for them to enact legislation in the interest of the public welfare, environmental concerns, labour standards, human rights standards, and so on. So you'll see very explicit references to these sorts of standards and these sorts of concerns in the new agreements. The second trend that we see is in terms of more specificity in terms of the language that is used. So in the past, we had very broadly worded obligations in the agreements, but nowadays what we see is very specific enumeration of what these standards mean. And some of that is a response to awards that have been issued, which states agree with. Sometimes the state is taking a stand against those awards, and so what they're doing is to write into the agreements what their position is in relation to those awards. The third thing that we see is greater transparency in terms of the processes, in terms of participation by non-disputing parties, so by NGOs, by or other amicus friends of the tribunal who want to contribute to that debate. So that's a very interesting development in the light of, I think, in particular Asian countries, which generally have been a bit more conservative in terms of opening up to the media or to the public at large. So that's an interesting trend. And the last thing that we see states doing is to specify what they would like to see in their arbitrators in terms of their experience and in terms possibly even of their philosophy. So what the TPP and what the EU-Singapore FTA has done, for example, is to create a list of arbitrators from which parties will appoint in the future. So that narrows the scope of individuals who are able to sit on those cases. And obviously that means some kind of pre-qualification process that will go on. So these are the four broad themes that I think we can see in terms of how states are renegotiating their treaties currently.